What up, guys? This is Coach Vassar. We are joining you in for the OTF Audio Daily Beats. Thank you for tuning in. As always, if you're new, thank you for joining me as we kind of do an overview of the OTF workout. If you find value in this information, obviously information is in the description on how to support me. Of course, if you want to leave me any feedback, feel free to message me on GroupMe. You could also post a comment on these YouTube videos. It's all good. Only way for me to get better is to get feedback and develop from that. We're going to go over Friday, November 8th, and this is going to repeat Saturday, November 23rd. Leave a little bit of everything, then of course talk about the 2Gs, the treads, the rowers, weight floor, and then talk about the 3G as well. So we're going to see power on the treads and then strength on the weight floor and the rower. The treads, the goal is to move fast and build power with 12 all outs. They get shorter throughout the block though. Rower, go as far as you can in 20 strokes. Then try to match or beat that distance each time you're on the rower. On the floor, we're going to move slow through strength exercises, working one side of the body at a time. You'll need benches out and of course dumbbells and straps. When we're looking at the treadmills, as mentioned, it's 12 all outs. You start with a buy-in though. You have a 2-minute push and a 2-minute base. Kind of get the body moving. So treat that as almost like an extended warm-up for the group that started on the treadmills. And then they are going to see 3 rounds of different all-outs. So each round corresponds to a length of an all-out paired with a walk recovery. For today, every walk recovery is 1 minute. And then in round 1, they're going to have 3 attempts of a 1-minute all-out. In round 2, they're going to see 4 attempts of a 45-second all-out. And then in round 3, they got 5 attempts of a 30-second all-out. Now the goal in this part of the tread block is the first all-out of each round sets the intensity, and then they want to be able to maintain that or increase it. So with the 3 1-minute all-outs, first one they do, match or beat, match or beat. When they move to round 2 and now they do the 45-second all-out, this is a new round. So this is a new all-out to try to use to maintain or increase off of. This is one where on paper, it's very simple. All-outs, walk recoveries. So this is one where you could really coach to OTB, coach to effort, and see where the members need to be to get the most out of it. So when I'm talking about coaching to OTB with a power day, we should see peaks and valleys. It takes a while for the heart rate to kind of ramp up, but by the back half of the all outs, heart rate should be hitting high green, maybe even an orange. And then when they hit that walk recovery, heart rate will continue to trend upward for about 10 to 20 seconds before it starts coming down. And with 1 minute, we should see that up and down with the heart rate. And in fact, this is a great day to kind of remind members about heart rate response and heart rate variability when it comes to these walk recoveries and the benefit of them. So, your heart's a muscle just like any other muscle. It needs recovery in order to perform better. So allowing it to drop to like low green or even blue before it takes off gives that heart muscle a chance to recover before it has to start working again. So that's one thing to kind of, hone in on for people, where a lot of their orange time is actually going to be spent during the recovery phase of that first part of that walk recovery, because the heart rate's still going to be elevated. And as they, collect more and more fatigue, the time it takes for the heart rate to start to decrease will increase before they see that drop. So, the first 2 or 3 rounds, heart rate might drop pretty quick back down to blue, but by the time they get to round 3, even though the all-outs are only 30 seconds, heart rate might stay elevated and might take 30 to 45 seconds before they start to see that heart rate start to come down during those 1-minute walk recoveries. Power walkers, a lot of up and down on inclines. So if, that is problematic for power walkers, this might be a day where they try to jog or run their all-outs as long as their body is okay with impact. Otherwise, that ramp up for the incline to go up, from 1% up to at least 10% takes about 10 to 15 seconds. So, during those 1-minute walk recoveries, at the very least, maybe 10 seconds out, remind power walkers to start bringing the incline up then. So that way, when you 3, 2, 1 all out, their incline is at 10% or greater, or almost there. That way they could get that incline for the full time. It's another way to also, increase their walk speed as another way to kind of challenge themselves. I've seen people power walk where their walk recovers. Yeah, they'll drop their incline, but they will go to maybe 5%. So at least not having to go up and down as much. So that really depends on the members. It also depends on your relationship with them and how you want to coach those people. One thing that I've noticed, my time with coaching is obviously with younger crowds. They love these kind of speed works. Older population, I hear it a lot where they're like, I just can't move that fast. Like, it hurts my joints. Okay, cool. Rather than increase in speed, could you maybe add incline, forcing them to move their feet faster at that same speed? So psychologically and subconsciously, they're still at whatever their speed is, 5 miles an hour. But if they go up 2%, then 3%, then 4%, that 5 miles an hour they have to move their feet quicker because of that incline. That's one thing to kind of mix it up for them. So that's gonna be the tread side. Now, when we look at the rower and the weight floor side, this is a long 23.5-minute block. We're gonna see 2 movements and then a row, and they'll have 3 sections like that. Once they finished all 3 sections, then they only do the weight floor movements, and there's 6 of them. Now, 5 of the 6 are things that we've seen plenty of times. You have a single arm chest press, a single arm rear foot elevated split squat, bench bird dog low row, single leg bridge body weight, and then a single arm neutral grip step down. All 5 of those movements, the goal is to go slow. So 3 counts down, pause, 1 count up. As a challenge, you could do 3 counts down and 3 counts up. But this workout has one of the new movements that we have launched in OTF. It's the strap Pallof press or the Pallof press, depending on who you talk to. We actually saw this movement on Monday, November 4th. That was the first time it showed up in the Strength 50 class, but you're gonna see it here on Friday. So with the Pallof press, if you are not familiar with it, first thing, OTF exercise library, they actually have like a 1 minute, 90-second video demonstration from a TRX expert on how to kind of set it up, what you're looking for, where you should feel it. And if you've never done that movement, I highly suggest before Friday, practice it. Whether that's the Thursday before or even on Wednesday, next time you're coaching, get on the strap, figure out how you want to cue it, how you want to coach it, and the setup for it. Now, me personally, I made a video about like the resisted torso rotation, and the cues for that are going to be kind of similar, but instead of grabbing the handle, you're going to place, the back end of your palm into the foot cradle part, and the other hand presses into it. And you want to start with the handles close, and as you press out, you're trying to resist rotation. So you don't want the hip to drop as you reach out, and then you pull back in slow and controlled. Then we're going to do 6 to 10 on each side for all 6 movements. Now, like I said, once you've done 2 movements, you're going to head to the rower, and it's going to be a 20-stroke row for distance. Now, the focus is on strength. On the 2G, they don't give a call out for a specific stroke rate. So use your discretion, use your orange eye to figure out what would be best for your members. I will say in the 3G, even though it is a strength focus, they have a little bit higher stroke rate recommendation. So if you want to use that for the 2G to make your coaching consistent for the day, in the 3G, they want you to use a 24 to 28 stroke rate for the row attempts. So you could kind of use that for your 2Gs if you want to, or if you don't have any 3Gs that day and you have just 2G classes, coach it however you need to coach it to help focus on the form and that strength. I personally try to keep people between 20 to 22, maybe no more than 24 strokes per minute on strength days. That's kind of on you guys though. And that's it. That's just one long block. They got the chest press, split squat, then they row. Bird dog low row, single leg bridge, the foot is on the bench, and then they hit their 20-stroke row, match or beat their distance, and then the new Pallof press and the single arm neutral grip step down. And then they hit that row 1 final time. So there's only 3 row attempts. Judging off of the recommendation of slow tempo and rest after each movement. Most people will probably barely get through that last row and only have maybe 1 to 2 minutes left, honestly. The finisher is something completely separate with a bodyweight push-up. Good option there is go back on the straps and do strap chest press, or they could even do a dumbbell chest press with a controlled tempo. That's a 2G. When we look at the 3G, we're gonna just see one long block at the treads, rower, and weight floor, 14 minutes across the board. The treadmills, they're gonna start with a very similar buy-in. It's gonna be a 90-second push, 90-second base to prime the body. And then they're gonna see 3 rounds, just like in the 2G, but it is only 2 attempts of a 1 minute all out in round 1, 2 attempts of a 45-second all out in round 2, and then 3 attempts of the 30-second all out in round 3. So in total, they just have 7 all outs. Same idea. Can they maintain within the round or increase within the round? And then when they move to the next round, same thing. Can they maintain or increase? With the rower block, they're going to do a 400-meter push row, and they will repeat that specific distance, and the goal is to match your beat every round within that 24 to 28 stroke rate range. They're actually going to be using dumbbells on the rowers today, so in the lobby intro, definitely let rowers know you'll need a weight. Maybe grab that before they come over. We're going to be doing an overhead single arm march in place, and then a single arm front loaded squat on the left side. So you'll have the left arm overhead, march in place, 6 to 10 reps, a lot of shoulder stabilization. Then they're going to place that weight on the shoulder or palm in, still compacting that shoulder, 6 to 10 squats. Then switch arms, overhead march, and then the squat. Once they've completed that combo back to back for both sides, they'll rest, and then they go back to their 400-meter push row. Based off of these 2 movements and the row, and they'll probably get 3, maybe 4 attempts of the full rounds, and then the finisher is going to be like a 30-second all-out row that they'll do with the treads. Weight floor, they are dropping half the weight floor exercises from the 2G, so all they have is a very simple single arm chest press, the rear foot elevated split squat, and then the bench bird dog low row. So no new movements, nothing crazy. Everything is unilateral, so do one side, do the other side, rest, move to the next movement. So nice little upper body push-pull with some split squats kind of thrown into it. And then same finisher, they're going to have the push-up for the final 30. That's the 3G. So with the long walk recoveries, highlight OTB, highlight how they feel, their recovery, and maximizing their potential to establish speed work to get better at. As always, any feedback, let me know. Thank you for tuning in, and coach it down.